Hi, my name is Hitesh and welcome to SQL Injection Master Course. Now first of all, it's my humble and kind request that you please visit my homepage at the below mentioned web ID hiteshchaudhary.com and you leave some valuable feedback for me. Now this is really important. Apart from that, you can just say hello to me on my email ID hitesh@hiteshchaudhary.com too. So without any further delay, let us move on to the SQL injection and on to our virtual machine. So let me quickly move on to our virtual environment. Here we are. And first of all, I have got my command prompt open up because I have just started my machine and I need to start a few service like Apache to start. I need to start this and I need to start the MySQL as well. Okay, so MySQL is also running. Now what I have done, I have also opened up my gedit, which is out there in the applications, in the accessories. Here we have got gedit and here is my gedit. I can say hello to all of you here as well. And apart from this, let us go to our Mozilla Firefox. Here it is. I can simply type localhost. I hope the URL is pretty much visible as we are going to move most of our things into the URL. Oops, again the same mistake. L should be in caps. Okay, so lesson 1 with our annoying image. Now this image is put up with the same reason that you perform each and everything and learn everything so much quickly that you doesn't get annoyed with this image. So if you want to learn fast because this image is really annoying. Okay, so now for every lesson what you have to do, first of all put a question mark, then ID equals 1. So this is actually the instruction being given here as well. Now you will find some login name and the password here that says sum and the password is sum as well. I hope it is clearly visible. Now in order to test any web application for SQL injection, we should be very strong with the enumeration part. We need to be out of the box thinker and be crazy while giving our inputs. So let's try what happens when I give ID equals to 2. Okay, so the login username and the password got changed. Now being very crazy, I will put a 5 here. Okay, thing and a noun. And being very crazy, I'll put a 10 here. Now again some crazy thing happened. Let me put a 120 here. Okay, this time nothing happened. Okay, that's the part thing. Now first of all, as a hacker or pen tester, what will come to my mind is very simple thing, that what could be the backend behind this particular query. So let me write one of the backend for it. It would be something like select username and password from table where ID equals to, let us assume it's our input. It's our input. Now every time when you put out any input, it is being placed in this manner. So suppose if you are putting 1 here, it is being placed in the 2 quotes. Now I am just assuming, I don't know what is actually happening, what might be the perfect query. I'm just assuming being a programmer or a penetration tester. I can put 2, 3, 4, 5 and likewise. So this is just my assumption. Now let us again move back to our SQL injection. Now as a programmer, I would have think that always the input should be in numeric format. Now what if happen if I type my name here, and this can be really one crazy thing. Okay, nothing happens. And what if I type Hitesh 123? Again nothing happens. So this is actually the enumeration part and you should be patient about it because you are going to learn quite a lots of thing here. Now what happen if I put a very long integer or something like that, like many time 9 would be a good answer here. So nothing happens. When I again come back to 1, now this is returning me some login ID and password. Okay, one thing one at a time. Okay, so we are clear so far now. But what happens if we put out some special characters? Now first of all, the special character which is one of my favorite is a backslash. When I put a backslash, what happens? Let's check it out. Now here we got a very good error. You have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to MySQL server version for the right syntax to use near something. Okay. Now my major key point out here is although I have put up a backslash here, or I can also test it with your very favorite single quote and can apply this. Again the same error. Now my point here is why I have got this error. This error is really beautiful. Why? Simple reason, because I was able to get an error from the database. That's the key point. Although the error here should be 404 page not found because this page doesn't exist, but we are able to get an error from the database. Now for the meantime it's an error, but I'm able to connect to the database. If I'll amend my queries or do something else here, I'm actually already connected to database and I can dump the entire database. Now here is the severe vulnerability being prompting out. Okay, so let us understand this query. Now here we can see that we have got 3 and here we actually put our input. Now this time I have given input 1 and a single quote. Now what is happening out here, if you notice that there is a clear mismatching of the quotes. Now quotes and brackets have a formula that says they should always comes in the brackets or in the pairs. So quotes and the brackets always comes in the pair and we cannot break that law. Since we are breaking that law, that's why we are getting an error here. Also what you can do, you can copy paste this much of part into your document, and what you can simply see that here we have got the 2 quotes. Let me get rid of this part. This is not, but now you will notice that this is actually not a double quote. This is being a single quote. Now this is the best way. Now here we have got one more quote out here. Here it is. Let me highlight it. Let me delete this and let me also delete the first quote. Now if you notice, now clearly we have got a quote mismatching. Here it is. Now it is explaining with the same error, and that is saying that hey Hitesh, you have provided an input that says one single quote. You have mismatched the quote and that is the reason why I am prompting an error, and that is why it says the application is vulnerable. Okay, apart from that, my favorite, always all-time favorite, is the backslash, by which it automatically gives you that hey, programmer has used a single quote here. Now this is really a good impact to find out that application is vulnerable out here. Okay, so we have got so much things clear apart. Now in order to move for the SQL injection, first of all let us apply a single quote, and we know that we have got break the query with a single quote. In order to proceed for the SQL injection, we first need to solve out this query as well. That means you have to join this query. Now in order to join this query, we again have to understand few basic fundamentals, and those fundamentals are very simple. You have to make the explicit right side of the query as undetectable. We cannot change this part of the query, but we can change the rest of the part in our provided input. So what I'm going to do, the simple trick is make everything on the right side as comments. You can do that by applying a hyphen, that is query delimiters. You can also make that by using a pound sign, or that is hash sign. These are the 2 very good examples, but they can go append as well. You can use any other as well. Okay, but make sure when you put a hyphen here, you have to put a space here. Now what is the problem out here is, if I give a hyphen here, let me give a hyphen, it doesn't join the query. Why? That's the answer we have to find out. So let's find it out. Since we are working in a custom domain, most of the time if you'll work on the live website, this thing works. But in case if that doesn't work, that means you need to provide an extra space here. But if I provide a space here, it's not going to work because all the things are URL encoded. So what I have to do in case of space, I have to give its URL encoding, and that's, yes, you are right, it's %20. Now that's fit up the everything, but that's not a permanent solution because whenever I write %20, it's vanish off. So in order to get rid of that, you can apply a hyphen then a plus sign. It is also going to work. So what we have done so far, we have break the query and we have joined the query by using this hyphen. So what ultimately we have done, we have put a hyphen here and plus. Now interestingly, we have got this much of space, which you can see in the highlighted portion. Now we can put any query here as well that is going to be executed. Now that's the real best part about the injection. So in this video we have just learned how we can actually break a query and how we can join a query. Now since I don't want to make this a series quite a boring one and a lengthy one, I want to make it very interactive and very interesting. So that's all we are going to learn in this video, and let's continue up in the next video how we can manipulate some queries to get out the data from the database. So thank you so much for watching.